What's up, guys? It's me, Chris with C&J Mobile Automotive. I was going to go work on a car today and record a different video doing engine mounts on a Tahoe, but my truck decided it did not want to start. So now we got to fix that. I'll show you what it's doing, and then I'll explain what I've done to get to where what conclusion I've drawn. But here we go. So right now, stick the key in, wait for the glow plugs. Nothing. I can hear the relay and stuff click, but I don't hear the starter clicking. And that leads me to believe that the solenoid on the starter has gone bad. Now underneath this fuse panel here, you have your relays and your fuses. This one right here is your starter relay. You can bridge this pin, number 30, with number 87, and try and crank the starter over that way, and it still doesn't do anything, which leads me to believe that it's the solenoid on the starter that's bad. Doesn't click, doesn't try to turn over, nothing. So we're gonna pull the starter off, and I'm gonna show you how to replace the solenoid. There's our starter. There's two bolts that hold it on there, and then there's a third bolt that holds it to a bracket up above it there that you need to make sure you put back on, because the starter will flex and it will crack the block or the starter. So make sure you put that bracket on and off. And then you got two wires that connect to the starter on the top. Those are your main battery feed and then your signal wire. Before we do anything though, we're gonna go back up top here and we're gonna disconnect our batteries so that we don't have to worry about arcing anything. Here you can actually see that bracket better. Right there, that's the nut we need to take off. That's the bracket that we want to make sure we put back on. And then we need to take our power wire that's above that one there and our signal wire off as well. The easiest thing to do will probably be to feed. And we might be able to just come up in here with a deep well and a short extension and get them off. We'll see. So the bolt that holds that bracket on is an 11 for me. It may be standard for you, but an 11 worked for me. I just got a little wrench in there and I'm slowly backing it off. And then I might have to take that bracket up there loose just to give the starter some more room to wiggle, but we'll see. Alright, so that bracket bolt right there is a 13. That's an 11. Just take that loose and move it out of the way. My little nut for the signal wire was a 7mm. It had two little washers on it as well. I made sure I grabbed those as well. And I was trying to get to the power cable, but it's angled in such a way that I can't get a socket on it. No way, no how. So I took this wire harness bracket off so it has a little more room. And I'm just going to take that off after I pull the starter down. So now we're going to go underneath it and we're going to grab the two bolts out of the starter. Alright, I broke those two 15mm loose. So I'm going to take them out and then drop this down. And then as I'm dropping it down, I'm going to get that main battery connector, the main power wire off. There we go. Starter's out. Now we're going to scoot out from underneath this truck and take the solenoid off. The main battery positive for me was a 17. It could be a 16 or a 15 for you, or a standard. Who knows, on these trucks this old stuff gets changed out and bolts aren't the same, so that's what happens. We're gonna go ahead and scoot out from underneath here and get this thing taken apart. We got that main ground cable off as a 13, and we're gonna take these off, and we're gonna try and get this out without taking this completely apart, but we may have to. These are 8s. So we got this loose, but the plunger isn't able to come out. What that plunger does is pull that out like that. That's what that plunger does. But it like hooks on behind a little fork in there, and sometimes you can tilt these and get them out, but this plunger is too big to do that, so we're gonna have to take the actual case apart and then we'll be able to get it out. I had to beat on it, but I got the alternator to come apart from the gear drive there. And then this, like I said, just slides in there behind the fork. the fork is right there, as you can see. It just goes in behind it there. And then you just screw it back into place, and then we'll put our starter back together and put it back on the truck. And then unfortunately, since I had to disconnect my batteries, I have to re-bypass my pass lock module, so that's going to be fun, but shouldn't take me too long. Last thing, there are 4 10s that go into this. There's one longer one that goes in the bottom. It actually goes through here and out the backside. 2 of the ones on this side are the cage bolts. They're the super long ones that run through there, and then the short one goes up top. All right, we got it all back together. I don't really know the torque specs on it because this is my first time ever doing this, but it's back together. Now we're gonna put it back in the truck. Your ground strap goes to the bottom bolt, and then your top bolt is your battery. So we're gonna put our ground strap on before we put it back in the truck. And then our signal wire goes on that little one on the side there. And we'll put our battery positive back on before we completely put it back up in the truck, because that's how we took it off. It just makes it a lot easier to get to, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. But here it is back together. I'll see you at the moment of truth. All right, we got our starter back in there. That nut does not want to go back on that stud there for some reason, so I got to keep messing with it, but everything else is back in there. I'm going to try and get that nut on there, see what happens. All right, moment of truth. Did we fix it? Yes, we did. But of course, it's not going to start because of that pass lock module, but